is working. It'll be really funny if there's no audio going around. So here I'm back. Name's he's War he's. Sorry about my friend Jason from yesterday, who is not able to come to us. Join us today for talking about the second episode of One Piece live action. So, first impression, let's talk about it. And then again, my name is Hees War. My friends call me War Hees. So, let's get started. So, let's start with the non-spoiler review, and after that, we'll go to spoilers. As I said, my friend said in the first episode, when Gold Rogers introduced, his dialogue is will change. Well, I am not the best person to tell his dialogue, but basically what happened is like wealth, fame, and power. Gold Roger, the king of the pirate, obtained this and everything else the world had to offer. And his dying words set countless souls to the seas to find his treasure, which will come to be known as One Piece. This last words of Gold Roger started the great pirate era, the age of the pirates. So that's how the anime starts, and the live action did a pretty decent and fair job also regarding that. So let's start with non spoilers because yeah, I'll let you know before the spoiler section starts. So if you haven't watched the anime or the live action, you can go and watch. So let's talk about the world. The One Piece world is not the same as ours, and it's a completely different world. Most of it is covered by ocean, and there are two great lines dividing the world into four corners: the East Blue, the West Blue, the North, and the South Blue. There's a big red mountain line that cuts the world in the half, known as the Red Line. And similar to that, there's a great line of water which is divided from the other sea, from the part of the ocean known as a calm belt. One goes horizontally and the other goes vertically, cutting the world into four different parts. And the journey starts with Luffy in the East Blue. So, I'm not sure the how the live action presents the world as, because yeah, in the beginning of the second episode, Nami explains about the world and how it's divided into four part. One horizontally by the red line and vertically by the blue calm belt and the wow, I'm gonna get into a lot of trouble by One Piece fans by because of yeah, it's been a long time since I watched the anime and I'm just going off my old memories. So second episode I came across in the end of the first episode they have showed us Buggy the Clown. Amazing acting, by the way. Yeah, unlike my friend yesterday, I'm not gonna be starstruck, and let's get into the meat of the part. So, the actor who plays Buggy, excellent acting, loved it. Although he's not completely, I would say, just yet, a little bit different from what we have seen in the anime. Huh, same performance as yesterday. Shall we get out of here for a short while to talk about the anime? While talking about the world, which is divided into a different sets of seas, world mostly covered by the water and only few islands. Some islands small as a house, varying from different sizes, and some islands are the size of big cities, some as size of countries, and some as big as the nations itself. It's an amazing world of One Piece. and the Grand Line is where the king of the pirates has hidden his treasure, and every pirate, known pirate, is searching the world to find his great treasure. So in yeah, the acting by Buggy the Clown, the genius jester, is very excellent. Slightly different from the anime, but we'll get into it later. And in the end, also, we'll see Nami's complicated emotions and where her allegiance lie, and how the crew bonds together in the end. I would actually say a little bit better performance would have expected, but they do the best as they can. So all the while, it's an excellent episode. You'll watch anime. In anime, this takes multiple episodes, but here they wrapped up in a single episode. So those of you who want to watch the anime, you can go ahead and watch. Me, I'm gonna get into the spoiler section. So those of you who want to go watch anime, go ahead. Spoilers ahead, just be careful. Sorry about any and all noise disturbance here coming, and I apologize for butchering the names of the characters, places, and actors. Maybe I'm not much interested in actor because performance is very solid. So let's start. Last episode 1 ended with glimpses of Buggy the Clown and his madness. Although the actor plays very well, in second episode we get to see his comedic side. When Luffy and his crew are sailing away and Nami is trying to unlock the... Who keeps a map inside a safe? I mean, a box? Maybe, but safe? Well, Nami is unlocking the safe to get the map, and I was slightly disappointed, like they didn't find any gold or much of any money, because I was really hoping to see the currency in live action. In anime, it's never properly focused on from what I have watched. And yeah, we see the how Buggy's crew takes Luffy's, not a crew, with gas bombs which put them to sleep, and Luffy surprisingly acting smart, because I haven't seen that done much in the anime, swallows the map. Is when the Buggy's and his crew doesn't know about Luffy's power, so obviously they would not be expecting a map inside a guy's stomach. Oh, by the way, devil fruits are basically myth in this world. Many people don't know about devil fruit, and who know about it, for them it's nothing but myth, legends, spooky stories, tales made up by the people to scare children and put people in their places. But it becomes almost a normal when they enter the Grand Line, which hasn't happened yet. We are still in second episode. So we see the Buggy the Clown's entrance. He seems so silly, funny. Even though Luffy says he is not much funny, but I found him to be really funny and excellent performance. And we see the audience. It's not told to us immediately, but we see the horror of the audience, who later turned out to be the citizens of the village they are in, and they are basically prisoners. One little gripe I have about this and live action is like the absence of the dog, the MVP, the main person in this arc. When we go against Buggy the Clown, while Luffy takes interest, is Shushu. Although they'll show just a random dog in like few frames, nearing the end of the episode, not done justice at all. So, speaking of which, let's get ahead. Let's talk about Buggy, the flashy fool, the genius gesture. Buggy is portrayed a far more intelligent and manipulative compared to his how he is in the anime. In anime, he is first of all shown as a weekly boss, a throwaway character, just a simple meh guy. And the one thing that kind of hurt me as an anime lover was like the way his power is revealed. In live action, they're captured and they're separated. Not before separation, Nami kind of tricks and tries to run away from Buggy, and she shows Luffy's powers by throwing away his hat. Obviously, Luffy grabs his treasure, the one thing that's more important to him than his life. And Buggy and the surprise of Luffy's power is out. And later on, when they're kept apart, and Luffy is getting tortured, and these people are separated and are about to get tortured, Buggy's powers are also shown. And seriously, what's up with the nerfing of Luffy and his crew? Luffy's crews are basically boss, and the only reason Buggy gets an upper hand in the anime is because of his Devil Fruit surprise. In this, we obviously found out he has eaten chop fruit. No thanks to Shanks, ruined all his dreams. So when Luffy is getting tortured, he escapes, and Buggy takes Kid as I don't know what is called as hostage. He's a pirate. Why would he care about a hostage? Come on, Buggy. And Luffy has his Gum pistol, and his head goes flying. And Luffy is also a little bit surprised and shocked, like, what? My punch wasn't that strong. And audience is also like, what just happened? And when the head turns around, like, boo, I have the chop fruit. But in anime, since Zoro is like insanely more powerful from what we see in live action, and Luffy also, he's been put on a metal cage, and Luffy is not very interested in getting out. This is all before meeting Shushu, the dog, the guard dog. So, what happens? We get into it. So, his chop fruits has been revealed to Luffy in front of all the audience, and there is no mention of Buggy's signature Buggy balls. Explosive cannonballs that are like 10, 15, 20, 25 times more powerful than any normal marine or any other pirate cannon. Well, there goes Buggy's special thing. Anyway, let's not talk about Buggy balls. So yeah, Buggy's power is revealed, Rufy's power is revealed, no surprises. I felt a little disappointed. And getting to the next thing, we see Nami and Zoro meeting up the unicyclist. Before this, when Nami had tried to escape, she has gone out and see the horror. Excellent acting by the actress, and we see the fear and horror of Nami in this. When she goes out and we see Nami doesn't like pirates, she's like, all pirates are the same, I don't like any of them. And she goes out and she sees the town destroyed, in ruins, houses broken, buildings burned, nothing left resembling a town, and she asks like, "You took everything from them, Buggy," and Buggy is like, "No, not everything. They still have their hands." And the sheep guy goes like with his board telling everyone to clap, and everyone applauses. Anyway, then we go to the next scene. Zoro and Nami are locked in case. Nami and Zoro banters a little bit character development, but not much. It feels more like a little bit of a garbage time. But yeah, we do get a little bit of development and enter the unicyclist. I believe his name was Kabunji. And he asked like, yeah, you killed my brother, and like you hunted us, Zoro, the pirate hunter. And he's like, yeah, that does sound like me cutting people's head off and like putting in bag. I'm like, no, that's not Zoro. Zoro is a wandering swordsman mostly because he cannot tell the differences, the directions. He can't tell difference between left and right in the next when they enter the Gara line. Basically, his character. He just hunts bounties, and mostly pirates because the world is filled with pirates because of the Great Pirate Era. Thanks to Gold D. Roger and Monkey D. Luffy is trying to become the king of the pirates. Yeah, Zoro, that does not sound like me. No, it doesn't. That's not Zoro's character. That's one thing that bothering me. But oh well, it's live action. They cannot capture piece to piece how it is in anime. So going ahead, we see the scene between Garp and Kobe in Axe and Morgan's office. Well, Axe and Morgan's the giant golden statue has been replaced by some paintings and posters. Oh yeah, and we also get to see Garp's right hand man, his bodyguard. I think his name is Bogart. Yeah, I believe so. And I know I'm butchering the pronunciation. Nice. So, yeah, Gap confronts Kobe like, "You are working with the pirates," and Kobe is like, "No, I'm not. I want to be a captain." He so shares his story, clip notes, some summary. And the story continues. He earns at least bit Gav's little bit respect, little bit trust regarding this encounter, and he tells about Luffy. The pirate with a straw hat was Luffy. Some people might think like the reason Garp came was to hunt red hair Shanks, because normally the pirate with a straw hat more than 10 years ago was Shanks when Luffy was a kid. Oh yeah, there's a time gap between 10 years in anime, around 10 years. No accurate dates, I have not noticed any of them. So we go to flashback when mountain bandits and come in, smash up the place, and they're like, "Give us booze, here's the janitor," and the fight starts between Shanks and the mountain bandits, and the fight was very anime accurate. Again, love the choreography, very well acted and everything. And in the fight we lose Luffy to mountain bandit, and the scene is like, "Where is Luffy?" when Red Hair Shanks. I like how the director went from like kid Luffy to adult Luffy stuck in a water tank. And I do love the Buggy's dialogue, but it feels like a linchpin when it comes to the story. Don't get me wrong, I do love the dialogue. Buggy manipulates him, tries to get where the map is, and his dialogue like, "You're an outcast, you're a freak, scorned and abandoned." join me and you can serve the man who will become the king of the pirates. And Luffy is like, no, I'm gonna be the king of the pirates. And then again, Buggy encounters like we see to get some insight regarding Buggy's character in this dialogue. I feel like that's why they horned it inside. Like, oh yeah, your crew abandoned you just like Shanks. And he's like, I'll find. And Buggy goes like, I'll find one piece, and everyone will know my name, and they will love me. Luffy's like, no, they won't. You can't make them love you. You can't make them laugh. I'm like, dude, I'm already laughing because of, and I really love the character. It was awesome. And then Zoro and Nami enter, and Buggy is like, where are my freaks? Then again, they have nerfed Luffy's crew. In anime, Zoro wasn't able to do anything against Buggy because you can't cut him. You can't kill him by cutting. And Zoro's whole thing is like he's a swordsman. He cuts. He doesn't fight. He doesn't punch. He cuts. The only thing Zoro has punch is a shark. Oh, spoilers. Sad, lonely boy wearing other man's hat. Really interesting dialogue, but it's slightly out of context, but it's nice. Coming to it, we it feels really different when yeah, the ensuing fight happens, and choreography was nice. Of course, they had to dial down the special effect because live action budget and all those restrictions. So it was awesome. I like how Buggy's chop chop cannon worked, and I believe it was in the anime Nami's idea to put them in the box and lock him away, and Luffy does the bazooka and wins the day. Buggy goes out flying. Luffy comes out and saves the people of the citizens of the island, and they thank him and they leave, depart. I Yeah, it's been told like many times like Luffy is a different kind of pirate. I'm a different kind of pirate. But in anime it's not properly told, but yeah, it's good. It's decent. Well, then we go to the marine fort and we see Accent being like, is it court martial? But it's from pirate era, the older times, the older technology, older tradition. So I'm not sure what happening to him. He's been strung in a cross. How we see Zoro in the first episode, and he's like, yeah, that made sense in the anime because he was corrupt and everything. In this, whatever Accent Morgan did doesn't deserve anything more than a slap on the wrist and maybe a mark on the record, like, oh yeah, this guy is a little bit lying. Then again, different timing, hard to tell. I feel so cowed. Well, that went out of existence. So I'm like, Accent Morgan did nothing wrong. Come on. Maybe he smudged the story a little bit, but there's no golden statue, there's no corruption. His son was a little piece of, you know, crap. But in the end, he did nothing wrong. I'm still surprised. Like, yeah, I think they had to follow the anime, so they had to put him into trial. But Accent Morgan in live action is nothing like the anime. In anime, he's cruel, careless, corrupt, arrogant, egotistical. But in live action he seems to be smart, not that smart, but still smart, professional, little bit out of hand, but it's a different era. The pride, the great pirate era, the golden age of the pirates. So yeah, I was like, Accent Morgan did nothing wrong, but he's getting court-martialed, and the guard says like, "Oh, I'm gonna take all you newbie recruits to sea." I'm like, just say you're taking the part of the crew, and Kobe and the other idiot end up in the crew. Seriously. Mm. In the end, yeah, in the anime we see that snail calling thing, nice. And the Nami's like mini microphone dial phone is not from the anime, from what I remember, not from what I have seen till now. So it's a little bit out of the realm for me. Yeah, we see Nami's allegiance shift. She might be working with someone else. She reports she has a map. Basically, she is not a part of the crew yet. Let's see how the episode goes. Episode 2 was good. Obviously, they had to cut off a lot of stuff compared to the anime, but yeah, it was decent. I'm actually loving it. It's better than okay, a little around average, but nothing I would consider awesome. Then again, seeing all the live action horror that's happening because of the Cowboy Bebop, God, brings nightmares. Feel like, yeah, this is better. It's not awesome, it's not excellent, but it's good. It's bearable, it's nice. And I see the influence of the main writer of One Piece manga, artist involved in this heavily. So it's good. Then again, I'll keep saying Accent Modern did nothing wrong. Yeah, that's about everything that comes to my mind. Obviously, Buggy is not dead. His body parts are put in a box. He'll come back and retrieve them, obviously. In anime, his freaks don't are not killed because Zoro is not a mindless killer. He only hunts bounties, and since it's an anime mostly targeted towards children, there isn't much of bloodshed in the beginning, at least. And so it was good. Everything was awesome. Still very good acting by, especially by Kid Luffy. Oh my god, he deserves at least some type of award. But I know it's not gonna go. And again, adult Luffy. You're not Luffy, man. You're not Luffy. You're trying your best to act. Hopefully, it'll get better soon. There was some difference compared to the first episode, but I'm not sure whether I'm getting used to his acting or his acting is getting better. In any case, had fun watching the second episode. I like highly recommend you go and watch the episode. And if you're anime lover, anime fan, I suggest you go watch One Piece, the edited version, because they cut off a lot of the unnecessary stuff, and the arcs are also in the proper order, unlike the One Piece. So have fun, farewell, and goodbye. And guys, take care, like, subscribe, and do all the other stuff. I survived. I survived. I survived. I survived.